So the battery on this camera is now down to halfway. This is the camera that doesn't take good video. And was it even recording? I guess it was. Anyway, I have to find the charger for it. But what I was going to do today is revisit some of these other air conditioners here. I still have to take this thing apart and clean it. This LG, gold sludge here. And it's a pretty decent unit as far as modern units go. It's just got to be cleaned and shit. And then, let's see, what else have I not made a video on? I think I've made a video on all these. I really like this one, this Crosley here. Of course, it's made by Whirlpool. And I was going to use this in my bedroom, and I did for a little while, but this thing is just so damn loud. I'll demonstrate. And these little Frigidaires. These little Frigidaires, I know that this Gibson's the same thing. This one I wrote all over because I had it over at the other house, and the unit I had there before... Shit. The unit I had there before ended up getting gone. I don't know what the hell happened to it. So I wrote all over this one with Sharpie. So that nobody took it. But that's a Gibson, and this is a Frigidaire. But, you know, these little WCI units, I'm a big fan of these. I know they're not the best out there. I mean, they got LG compressors in them. Although some of them do have Tecumseh compressors. But, you know, they do function pretty well. And they're very, very quiet. And, yeah, we got this nice, I like this one. It's a 10,000 BTU. It's too big. It doesn't fit in any of my windows. It's too wide. But this is the one somebody must have used a coil cleaner or something on it. It didn't rinse it out good because it's, like, deteriorating the coil. And then we got, let's see, is there anything else? No. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set the camera right here. I'm going to put this guy back over here. I'm going to get my extension cord. Okay. So I guess we'll start with the least interesting ones. This is a Hampton Bay. I don't think I did make a video on this. It wasn't really worth making a video of. Oops. Get there. This, of course, is also a gold sludge made machine. And there goes the extension cord. Yeah, this is a gold sludge made machine. Pretty rusty. It's got holes in the condenser. Can't see any of that because this camera doesn't focus. But it does run. But pretty sure it's really low on charge because it does not cool. And it freezes up at the very bottom. So, if this cord would work here, it's got molded plug disease as well. Where's the compressor on this one? On this side. Now, one thing I found really surprising, and see, these units are really quiet too. I used to have two of these as well. But one thing I found really surprising is the fan bearings aren't bad. Almost every single one of these I've had, the fan bearings are bad. Now I might do the same thing with this one that I did with that 1986 Kenmore, you know, and of course it's not something you would want to do, but what I did was recharged it with R134A. I know you're not supposed to do that, it's, you know, not compatible or whatever, but I did that a few years ago and that unit's still running and it's used daily. So, you know, this unit isn't really worth anything, so I might give it a shot. The very bottom coil where it first comes in here is slightly cool, but other than that we got nothing. And I've let this thing run for hours, and no more than just the bottom loop of the coil gets cold and it just freezes. So yeah, this thing's definitely low on charge. So I might just stick a bullet piercing valve on there and recharge it that way, and if it ends up slugging the compressor, then that's fine. Next one here is this little Gibson. This is the one. This one actually runs pretty good, and I do like these. They're really quiet, and they do seem to perform quite well. I'm gonna clean this unit if I plan to use it again. But yeah, these are really quiet. They do seem to perform really well for what they are. And this one was pretty low on charge when I got it as well. And I recharged it with some, I basically did a transfusion from that old Fetters air temp with the dead compressor. And now this one gets cold almost instantly. Well, not almost instantly, especially since it hasn't been run in a while, but unless the Freon's leaked back out. No, there it goes. Of course, this is the LG compressor, just like in this Frigidaire. I'll give you a better listen when we start this one. But yeah, I mean, it's performing quite well, and you can hear how, I mean, that's low fan, or high fan. This is low fan. These units are really quiet, and they perform really well. I mean, you know, it's blowing ice cubes right now. So, for what it is, you know, it's just a cheap, small unit, but for what it is, these things are pretty decent. Some of the last good units, if you ask me. This one here is from 2000, the other one's from 1999. Okay. Now we move on to this Westinghouse. This is a white Westinghouse Mobile Air. And I'm not exactly sure how old this unit is. It's got to be from the 80s. It's got a nice thick coil here. This unit's really well made. It's a 10,000 BTU. And I know you can't see any of that. Now this unit, like I mentioned, and there's a video on this if you haven't seen it, go find it so you know what I'm talking about. This unit, unfortunately, somebody used a bad coil cleaner. Well, not a bad coil cleaner, they probably used New Brighter. You know, something corrosive, but didn't rinse it out good. So it ended up eating the coil, so I'm sure this unit, as far as efficiency goes, is greatly diminished. But it does seem to perform okay, although it does take it a long time to get cold. But that might just be a function of the compressor being in one of them. No clue who that is. That might just be a function of the rotary compressor in this thing. Sometimes these take forever to get cool. But once it does, I mean, the whole coil gets nice and cold. It doesn't freeze up, doesn't do anything that it shouldn't be doing, so it runs good. So we'll go to cool, and I think the compressor's over here. So Matsushita rotary. Okay, I don't know if the compressor, no, the compressor's on the other side, so sorry. And yeah, I don't have the temp gun or anything, so. when I say this thing takes a long time to get cold, I mean like 5 minutes. So it might be low on charge, but I've ran it for hours, and once it does get cold, I mean, it's cold as shit. It's not like halfway performing. It performs perfectly well, and it produces a lot of condensate, so I'm not completely sure. You'd think with the coil being the way it is, it would build up head pressure really quickly. Yeah, the bottom part of the coil is a bit cool. Yeah, so I don't know about this thing. But it would still be fine to use because it does get cool. And once it's running, then it stays running just fine. It's cold. It's getting there now. I mean, it's not there, but it's getting there. Anyway, I don't have time to sit around and wait. Next one, and I do like a lot of these old Whirlpool units. This is a Whirlpool designer style. Get all these cords out of the way. Whirlpool designer style, and it's a bit out of shape because of all this crap sitting on top of it, but that pops back in there. And it's cool, it's got these two vents, but this one unfortunately is broken, so it doesn't rotate, but they would both originally rotate like this. And this unit is unfortunate it's in as bad a shape as it's in. I mean, as far as functionality, I mean, it's in fine shape. It's just that's kind of beat up. Quit it! Get out of the way! Jeez. I don't even know what the hell I was saying. Oh yeah, this filter is just gone. Thermostat still works, and it's a Whirlpool, so that's surprising, but it's missing a knob. When I got it, the thing was gone, and I ordered a switch that was the same part number, but even though it's the same part number, it was different. So now this is medium cool, that's max, that's low cool, that's fan only, and that's off. But whatever, I mean, it works. Got one of these weird upside down plugs with molded plug disease. So go ahead and plug this one in. This is like an 11,500 BTU. See, that's fan only. Go to low cool or medium cool, that's the first one. And this one's got a full charge. It gets cold pretty quickly. At least it did before. Yeah, it's getting cold already. So this would be a really good unit to put like in a living room or something where you needed air to go in both directions. I mean, you couldn't move this one over anymore, but you could do that one. And it comes out both sides. I mean, that, you know, it's a pretty nice unit. And it moves a good amount of air. It performs quite well. I think this unit was from 1998, if I remember correctly. And Whirlpool definitely did have some interesting designs. Yeah, that's blowing cold now. Okay. Yeah, if I can unplug this thing, that would be great. Gotta put a new plug on this if I were to use it. Then we've got this crazy ass Whirlpool here from 2000. I think it's from 2000. 2001. No, 2000. 06 to 2000. Okay. Yeah, this crazy ass thing with this weird compressor. It's a 10,000 BTU unit. It runs great, cools great. Oh, there you go. Compressor sounds fine. It just does that weird thing when you shut it off. I mean, really, this thing runs fine. It takes a little bit to get cool. It's not there yet. But it was a lot of air, too, if you put it up on the high, and it is quite quiet. I do like this unit. I was going to put this in my bedroom, but it makes some weird rattling sound that I haven't quite figured out yet. It's not getting cold though. Yeah, it is a little bit. These have been sitting since last year, so you know, sometimes things take a little while to get flowing in these air conditioners after they've been sitting a while. Yeah, it's getting there now. Yeah, I mean, this compressor sounds fine. Listen to that. And yeah, it's cold already, so, I mean, it's working just fine. Produces plenty of condensate, runs fine, doesn't run hot. But when I cut it off, it just does this. Oh, it's not going to do it now. Anyway, it does a weird ticking thing. You've seen it. If you haven't seen it, go check that video out too, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, here's the Crosley. Now the Crosley, this unit needs some help on the inside. It's got some rust on the pan. I'm going to do that next. This unit is from 1991, even though it looks a lot older. It runs really well. It's got a fan motor that you can lubricate the bearings. It's got metal fans, and it just runs really well. But it's just so damn loud, even on low. Well, the compressor's fine. It's the fan that's loud. So let me put it on fan only just so you can hear. I mean, I guess it's not that bad, but I'm having to raise my voice to talk over it. So for somewhere like a living room where, you know, you're probably not going to be right next to it, it's fine. But like in my bedroom, I'm right next to it all the time. That's where my desk is. So I just couldn't deal with that. Let's cut it off and then go to low cool. And the compressor is over here. I see it. I mean, yeah, on low cool it's not that loud. But it's still loud. And then the other thing about this unit, I gotta figure it out, because I took it apart, cleaned all the passageways and everything, but it still drips on the inside. So something's plugged up or something, because water comes on the inside. You know, we can't have that. It's already cool. This thing works really well. Put it up to high cool, it's loud as shit. It's annoying because it works really well. And I don't know why it's so loud. That one's a lot quieter and they're the same size, same thing. The only thing I can think of is that has more like a blower wheel and this has more like a fan. Other than that, there's not much difference. See, I did replace the plug on this one. And then let's go to this little Frigidaire. And I don't feel the need to demonstrate that one. That's just kind of modern electronic control unit. Then I got some other ones over at a friend's house and some other ones over at the other house. And most of those are modern units. I got a Carry Cool and that 86 Kenmore. But I don't see any need to demonstrate them. Here's high cool. Once again, you can hear how quiet these things are. these little WCI, you know, white consolidated, spider, get the hell out of there. Yeah, these little white consolidated industries units before Electrolux took over. These things are great. I mean, yeah, they got styrofoam in them, you know, they're not as high a quality as like a really vintage unit, but they're really quiet and they perform really well. I mean, there's nowhere in our house that I can use them because the only rooms that we can cool with a 5,000 BTU unit don't need a unit in them. I mean, little tiny things, but yeah, I mean, it's cool already. It's working. These have a interesting motor in them too. It's like a Macmillan box fan motor, if you see it. It looks almost like a box fan motor, but it's a Macmillan motor, just like they did use in the box fans. Obviously it's a PSC motor, you know, it's different, but that's what it's like. In this unit, I don't want to breathe what's coming out of it because it's pretty dirty. I haven't cleaned it, and it has had, the guy who had it before, see here, and in there, said that there were rats living inside of it and chewing on it. So I'm sure there's rat feces and all sorts of shit in there that you don't want to breathe. So, yeah, this unit needs to be taken apart and cleaned really well, because I ain't about to fill my house with rat feces, or anyone else's house for that matter. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.